Supervillains. Everyone loves them. They've given us doomsday machines, cats, lasers, henchmen, fava beans, ninjas, machines to blot out the sun, bases that blow up moons. You name it, they've done it. But Sancha Kuvakai went too far. His incursion sino-jams entire constellations. How can we hot drop a passing Drake if we can't drop a sino field? This conundrum led to us taking our place in the enterprise that has sprung up around incursions. It actually works rather well. A cottage industry of dedicated corps and locals work in prickly harmony to run hundreds of the smaller sites and bring the Sancha constellation control to zero. High-sec incursions give pilots a chance to cut their teeth on fleet combat situations within a PvE environment. And budding fleet commanders get a chance to try their hand at marshalling logistics and organising their forces under fire. The Sancha invasion plans may not make a lick of sense, as indeed is the case of much PvE, and yet on a meta level the content has succeeded, since new in-game professions, roles, and even communities were created. In low-sec and 0-0 incursions, things can be more ruthless. But it's interesting that there emerges some measure of altruism between groups for getting things done, even here in the ruthless environment of Eve. Then the Sancha mothership spawns, and groups like us finish the so-called Ouroboros site, giving everyone their loyalty point payout. The Ouroboros mothership hits hard. Here its fighter bombers put a heavily tanked Navy APOC to low armor. Running Ouroboros right after the launch of incursions was a thrill because no one knew what to expect. And since the Shadow fighter bombers hit any signature radius for full damage, it was a serious test of the EHP of the caboose-fit Guardian. Although we did get a few faction supercarrier blueprints for our troubles, ISK wasn't a huge motivation, as those bureaucrats at Concord only pay out for Ouroboros if you use between 30 and 70 people to kill it. No more, no less. Since it can be run with 10 Guardians and 10 Vindicators, our 20-man groups could only get payouts when using what we called the Caravan. The Caravan was a collection of our alts in Tech 1 frigates, who'd bring us to the required numbers and give extra payouts. We dutifully lead this assortment of Bantams, Tristans and Punishers deep into the incursion, and then sit them on the Ouroboros acceleration gate whilst we dealt with Mr. Sancho Kuvakai's finest. Dealing with them was made much harder by our near-endless ability to be trolled by EVE Survival's guides. In one site we dutifully followed instructions and killed wave after wave of escalating spawns for 3 hours, until we realized that the true method involved moving objects in a line of jet cans to make a station vulnerable.
Miss needs a bit of ammo as well. Good luck, put 1 rev or so on him.
SS is about to need heavy reps here in a second, I think.
Okay. 1 rep more on Miss.
Is it the shield is 99% or something?
How long?
35. I feel like speaking clock.
Caution, give me a broadcast, I'll rep you with all reps for a moment.
And of course, low on armor and exhausted from hours and hours of repping, the last jet can would be moved just too slow.
Too late.
That would cause the station to rep back up, a little like a line of buckets in the fire of London, where the last man in the chain leaves to refill his pipe, and the water spills out a mere meter short of the flames. Worse still, we took seriously the apparent danger of the true Sancha mobile headquarters having a warp core strength of 20 and warping away. And so we spent our time bumping it with battleships, neuting it, and even cycling Infinite Point between 6 heavy dictors. And all the while we sat in sober discussion about where its thrusters might sprout from, pending its escape.
Point. I got point on the station.
Primary's broadcasting.
Really?
Force now it is.
Point on station. You can't bump it, so you can all try and bump it.
This station is going to move at some point, Pad.
An ECM burst
Jumping
and then
out
jumps
at
out.
90. Is it moving?
It's moving.
Not according to overview.
Begin.
I think it's scared because it's pointed by the voters.
Having survived all this madness, one final question remained. What would happen if we were jumped by a hostile fleet whilst running Ouroboros? When the day came, it began in most unremarkable fashion. We'd left the Navpox at home and were running the Ouroboros site with the Badans and Guardians. The inimitable Dirty Dirty had even run the gauntlet of crossing incursion gates unscouted to join us in what we little realized was a CCC-rigged Abaddon. The caravan was in place, and as you see here, I'd set up to take initial aggro in an overtanked setup. For logistics, we had 8 Guardians. By no means a large amount of rep for running Ouroboros, but familiarity had led to confidence in running the site. After some minutes a hostile fleet was reported. We were not as concerned as we might have been, because we placed our trust in an entirely unproven article of faith, namely that the fighter bombers of Ouroboros would switch target to a new fleet entering, or at least split the damage equally. Where precisely this notion came from, no one could later say. It was Josie who first called for the caravan to warp off from the other side of the gate, and that the hostile fleet was landing.
Got overloaded reps. Okay.
I'm getting some lucky in there as well. This is Emily.
LIRs, all the LIRs are on me.
They're landing now on the gate. They're flying battleships.
Emily, I need cap.
They're all landing on the gate now.
Any cap, broadcast cap.
8 Guardians.
Should we align to any gate?
No. We'll fight.
They have 4 Oneiros, Prophecy,
Kill the
Proteus,
LIR.
Scorpion.
Kill the bombers. Actually, all the NPCs will probably switch to the aggressors when they warp in.
Mesh here reiterated our notion that Ouroboros will switch to the imminent new arrivals, as we sized up our guests.
Shania still needs cap.
So should
Yeah.
Is anybody else getting model lag?
They're all 0 on
No.
the acceleration gate.
Approach this beacon.
Oops, that half armor.
Wrap up, guys.
Keep
I have
reps.
to cast twice.
Got reps on you.
Somebody,
Cool.
please keep an eye on next pack of bomber spawn, which might happen anytime soon.
Yeah.
They're
North.
coming.
They're coming. They're coming.
They're coming in now.
Get reps on Boopers, guys. Core armor.
I'm full.
Come on, rep on Boopers, guys.
Boopers, they're coming up here.
Here they come.
You might want to remove Ransford's bit.
No,
Okay.
you shouldn't. You
Primary.
need to see the bombers.
Kronos, PSY, will try and milk him. Before they get their rep, I'll broadcast him. He's prime.
More reps on
Kronos.
Boopers, guys.
I don't see their scopes.
Hello,
Prime
only
the
one
Kronos.
scorpion.
Reps on Zoidberg.
Grab some lucky on the ammo.
There's only one scorpion of them.
Secondary
so it's
broadcast, it's a Megatron.
We lost a Guardian.
Wooden partner.
Megatron's broadcast, he's secondary.
Machine needs ammo.
Then the Maelstrom.
Jockey needs ammo. Jockey needs more ammo. Not Jockey.
We're sinking very fast.
Maelstrom is broadcast.
Bombers on the field. Bombers on the field.
Another Megatron broadcast. The bombers will shoot them as well, though.
We'll just have to call up who's locked up here on our side.
Maelstrom's prime, Maelstrom's prime. VK and the Maelstrom is broadcast as prime. Secondary is PER Megatron.
Bombers are going for me.
Hostile targets, including a Kronos, are sinking, but we've lost Dirty Dirty and Lagia's Guardian to the combined fire of the enemy fleet and the Sancha fighter bombers. With Mesh hovering in low armor on both his Guardians, and more ECM bursts from Ouroboros looming, it starts to dawn on us that the Sancha fighter bombers will not switch away, a fact later confirmed by the absence of the torpedo on enemy lost mails. And so, we're forced to consider the unthinkable, of shooting NPCs in the middle of a fleet fight.
Got reps on you.
VK is prime, Megatron. Sorry, Maelstrom. Secondary is PER Megatron. After that, OM in the Megatron is being broadcast. PER is primary. PER is primary in the Megatron. After that, DOM Megatron. Then VIO Megatron is broadcast.
Shania needs more.
Reps on Mesh. We need to sink these bombers. She's taking knocked damage.
Okay, we sink the bombers, guys. Sink the bombers. The bombers are on us. Switch to bombers. Melt the bombers. Melt the bombers.
Hecklon needs ammo as well. I need a rep on both the Guardians, basically.
I kill any spare reps if you've got. More reps on Headlock.
Okay, switch to the bombers. Melt the bombers. Melt the bombers. We can tank their defense probably.
Guardians are all big on Mesh now. Mesh
Are the
needs
bombers
ammo.
going down?
Yes.
Armor on
Mesh
Mesh.
has bombers. Mesh has bombers.
Bombers are switching fish.
More reps on the
Broadcast
left of the
Broadcast fish.
Fish broadcast, go.
Broadcasted.
Broadcast the Scorpion.
Yeah,
Lock up the
stones.
Scorpion. Lock up the Scorpion as well. How many bombers left on field? How many bombers left on field?
2.
Map needs reps.
Okay. Switch
Hecklon
to the
needs,
Scorp.
rep as well,
Melt
big.
the Scorp.
Collector needs reps. A map.
Map needs reps.
Reps on map.
Discount.
Melt the Scorp. Melt the Scorp. TA in the Scorp. Secondary
Princess
VI
needs
Megatron. VI in the Megatron is secondary.
Broadcast cat entrance, I don't think anything.
More reps on Mav.
To that CAL Armageddon is broadcast. CAL and
More reps on
Armageddon.
map. Map broadcast again. Fish are
Guys,
flying.
use the drones.
now.
Drones are still shooting the super carrier. Use them.
More reps on Fish.
VI is primary.
Yeah, 6 reps for fish.
Broadcast again on VI. No, VI guys. Megathron, come on, damage on him. Okay, he's getting some rep. Get ready to switch to CAL. Get ready to switch to CAL. Switch now, everything on to CAL. CAL is primary in the Armageddon. CAL in the Armageddon is primary. CAL in the Armageddon. Switch to him. Also lock up the Proteus, who's broadcast. I'm going to broadcast the Dominix, looks like he's muting.
Spect.
Try the Proteus this tank. He is painted. He's broadcast, Proteus is broadcast. Melt the Proteus, guys, melt the Proteus.
No reps already.
I'm about to lose point on Proteus.
I'll point out now, bro.
After the free broadcast again for Cap. Anybody else who needs a Guardian buggy at this point?
Stay on the Proteus, stay on the Proteus, stay on the Proteus, it's really down. Secondary will be the Dominix, SP the Dominix will be secondary. Then we'll go back onto the IO.
Thanks, Jim.
Dominix primary, Dominix primary. SP in the Dominix primary, secondary is VI with the Megatron. Okay, Kronos next.
Julius.
Okay.
Is it a
He's prime. Kronos is prime. Kronos is prime.
ECM burst.
Is there a Guardian buggy at the moment, except for
Five bombers.
Me and Pro Bubble is ready.
Okay, 5 bombers here, 5 bombers here.
Kill the Kronos, then we go on to the bombers.
Allies on China.
Okay, kill the bombers. There's not much DPS left in the hostile.
Yes.
Come on, broadcast back.
Mob needs reps.
More reps tonight.
Rest on the map as well.
Lock up these two dummies on your broadcast. BO and PR. Tell me how many bombers are left, John.
More map.
Going into hole.
There's 6 plus 7 bombers left.
Yeah,
Kill the bombers, guys. Stay on the bombers. Stay on the bombers. Shoot the bombers. Keep me updated on the bomber numbers, John.
2 left.
4 bombers.
New target
Three
will be
left.
PR in the Dominix. Once we're down to 2 bombers.
2 bombers now.
Okay. On to
one.
PR in the Dominix. Second will be VU in the Dominix. Their Guardians aren't repping this, we'll just shoot them afterwards.
They're
How
walking
much
points left. Split
DPS
points.
skills I have left on the field? How much
They're walking.
DPS skills I
Split
have?
points. Not a lot. Split points.
Got a point on VOL.
Okay. Back towards Ouroboros now, guys.
Some reps on Nicoletta, please.
Well, that was pretty hardcore.
Broadcast.
I love this. We need to do this more often.
You guys need the
Most people,
broadcast,
yeah.
please.
Okay, it's still not over yet though. You still get killed by the rats as well, so let's head back towards Ouroboros.
Fisher
We
King
lost
is down now.
Fisher King.
Yeah, he has broadcasting, Just check the broadcast.
He'll be fine.
Also be aware we have incoming bombers very soonish.
Yep.
Spawn.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Broadcast.
With the hostile fleet defeated, we settle the score with the Sancha. The conventional Sancha attackers are spread on both sides of the battle summary, but the compact shade torpedo is only on the lost mails of some of our downed ships, and not on the many lost mails of the attackers, which provides some insight into what can happen when you throw Ouroboros into the mix with a fleet battle. But whether these lessons are of relevance is difficult to say, for in the past year the incursion scene has fallen on hard times. Changes to the mechanics have taken their toll, and small local groups now bolt their doors when the incursion circus comes to town. The ebb and flow of trends in EVE is nothing new, of course, and like in the world, professions and scenes expand and recess as the metagame twists around. Hopefully incursions will rise again, and perhaps even be reborn with a Blood Raider or Garista invasion, to drop a new faction supercarrier and give Mr. K a well-earned sleep.